So here we can see Tom and Jerry are stuck in a pyramid, and now Tom has disturbed the sleep of a mummy, the guy who's wrapped in white. And now he's chasing Tom and Jerry, and he's telling them that he's going to keep them inside the pyramid with him forever. Tom and Jerry are begging him. Now let's see what happens. Well, after much pleading and begging, the mummy said, "Okay, I will let you go. But there is one condition. You will have to learn everything about the Egyptian civilization. So will you help Tom and Jerry learn about the Egyptian civilization?" Well, now Jerry, being the intelligent one, asks the mummy, "Hey, who are you? And why are you covered in white?" The mummy says that I am King Tut. Full name is King Tutankhamun, and I come from a place called Egypt. We will now learn more about this place. Well, the Egyptian civilization began in the year 3000 BC, right by the river Nile, which we can see here. And this was where the present day Egypt exists in Africa. Now, after this, to learn more about this Egyptian civilization, we will now divide this time period into three different times: the Old Kingdom, the Middle Kingdom, and the New Kingdom. So let's learn more about this Egyptian civilization. To begin with, now let us take a look at the important cities of this Egyptian civilization. The important cities were Saqqara, Memphis, Giza, and Cairo. And as you can see, all of these are right next to the river Nile. So now, can you answer the question, by which river did the Egyptian civilization develop? The options are Tigris, Indus River, Nile River, and the Yellow River. Well, the correct answer is the Nile River. Let's move on now. So now that we had divided the time periods into three time periods, being Old Kingdom, Middle Kingdom, and the New Kingdom, now we are going to talk about the Old Kingdom, which was there from the year 2613 BCE till 2181 BCE. So, what did happen in these years? Well, firstly, kings formed a central government. Before this, the kings had never formed a central government and ruled from one centralized location. Apart from this, this is the first time that the pyramids and tombs were made. Apart from this, lastly, this Old Kingdom period ended with a war between the pharaohs and the nobles. Now, let us take a look at the Middle Kingdom, which were there from the year 2040 BCE till 1782 BCE. So, what happened during this time period? Well, this kingdom began after the civil war between the pharaohs and the noblemen had ended. This was a great time for the Egyptian civilization because arts like jewelry making flourished. Apart from this, trade also improved along with several new construction projects. But this great time also ended when foreign invaders called the Hyksos came in. These were Semitic people who had come from the Middle East with their new bronze tools and their horse-driven chariots, and they defeated the Egyptians in some part who were still working with their stone tools and fighting on foot. Take a look at this picture here. You can see how the Egyptians are fighting with these Hyksos. Now, let us talk about the New Kingdom, which was there in Egypt from the year 1570 BCE till 1069 BCE. So, what happened here? Well, this new kingdom began after the invaders called Hyksos were gone. So, what happened after this? The Egyptian civilization reached its peak, and there were also many new trade projects and construction projects, and there was a queen called Queen Hatshepsut who had ordered her people to repair the damaged temples and buildings which had been disturbed or destroyed because of these Hyksos. So, but how do we know so much about this civilization? Well, this is because of the literary sources that we have. These included the hieroglyphic writings, which have been found on a paper-like material called papyrus. Take a look at this picture. Can you see the paper-like material and also the drawings on top of them? Apart from that, there were also several engravings on pillars, walls of tombs, and palaces. Take a look at this picture and see. This is a wall on top of which engravings have been done in hieroglyphic script, which was basically several pictures or symbols which was used to represent their ideas. So this is how we know some things about the Egyptian civilization. But that is not all. We also have archaeological sources. Well, all of us know that the Egyptians made pyramids. They made the step pyramids, and along with that, they also made temples and other huge structures. They made giant statues and structures which are there all over Egypt right now. But that's not all. They also made smaller structures, even of Egyptian gods and rulers, to decorate their tombs as well as their temples. Lastly, several artifacts like bronze tools, weapons, ivory and stone tools have been found that tell us more about this Egyptian civilization. Now, you must be wondering how these people lived, right? So now we are going to take a look at how the Egyptian town was built. Well, all of the Egyptian towns had roads which were running parallel to the river Nile, which was close to them, as we have seen. So apart from this, the king used to live on the northern side of the town. Take a look at this palace here. Can you see that? Well, this is where the king used to live, along with his family members and other important people. These palaces had several lavish bathrooms, courtyards, and many, many rooms. Now, take a look at this part of the town. It is the central part of the town where the houses were made of bricks, and this is where the commoners like you and me used to live. Apart from that, administrative buildings were also present at this part of the town. Now, lastly, some kilometers away or some distance away were the pyramids. This was made a few kilometers away from the main cities, and near these places, all the people who had made the pyramids, such as the farmers and the slave people, used to live near these pyramids. So now we're going to take a look at their social structure. Well, on the top were their kings or the pharaohs, and they were regarded as gods, and there was no one else equal to them. After this came the upper class of the Egyptian civilization. These included the priests, the officials, and the chief minister or the vizier, who used to help this king in fulfilling his duties. Next came the middle class of this civilization. This consisted of the craftsmen and the farmers and other common people like you and me. And lastly, in the civilization came the slaves, who were either war criminals or prisoners, who had to do everything that these other people asked them to do. They had no human rights and weren't even paid some of the times. Take a look at this. This social structure also reflected on how these people used to live or how their towns were planned. Remember, the kings had their own palaces in the northern part of the town. Other than that, these people, the priests, officials, and viziers, also used to live in palaces, which had many rooms and lavish bathrooms and courtyards. Now, the middle class or the commoners in the middle of the city, where the houses were made of bricks and were very simple. And lastly, the slaves, who used to live right next to the pyramids. So, with this, we have learned how the Egyptian people lived, how their towns were, how their social structure was divided, what they made and what they were famous for, their archaeological and literary sources. And this is exactly why many people even today visit Egypt to learn more about this amazing civilization. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel and hit the bell icon. You can also register for free on deltastep.com or download the DeltaStep app and get easy access to more than 5,000 amazing videos as per your school syllabus. Master each topic with our adaptive practice technology. Get million+ questions with step-by-step solutions and unlimited mock tests. Get all your doubts resolved instantly. Learn via games and get a chance to win amazing prizes like PlayStations and iPads. So, at Delta Step, learning is not just fun and easy, it's rewarding too. So, register for free now.